we start the log walls. If you are building on your foundation, you will have to place anchor bolts and provide holes for through bolts and electrical wires as you build. Here we are using a rebuilding project to provide a demonstration platform. It is possible to place the anchor bolts or hardware into the concrete, then lay out and drill the sill logs to fit. Be careful to ensure that the bolts are on the center line and that they are in the correct location. Also be sure that the J-bolts are long enough to reach through the sill log and any sill material. These bolts are short and need link nuts to extend them. If the anchor bolts are not well placed, it is possible to offset a line and reference the bolt locations to this line. These measurements can then be duplicated on your sill log or timber piece. Place a moisture barrier on top of the concrete, then place the sill piece. The floor is now put in place in this demonstration. A sill seal is placed on top of the treated timber pad and a baseline again employed on the sill log to locate the anchor bolts. Countersink the bolt locations on the top of the sill log so that the top of the bolt will be about half an inch below the top of the log. Then place the sill logs in position. The anchor bolts should be well tightened, and then the excess material can be broken off. Electrical access holes will also have to be started and carefully continued as each round is finished. Of course, if you are building off the foundation, all these holes can be placed as the wall is dismantled for loading. In many cases, the house is constructed on a temporary foundation right alongside the permanent foundation for the sake of this convenience. Originate the hole on the center line with at least a 1 inch or 30 millimeter drill bit and angle the bit to finish on the inside of the concrete. Make a pencil mark on the side of the log at 90 degrees to the center of this hole. The center for the hole in the next log can be located from this mark after the log has been scribed, and the hole is drilled when the log is on the ground. This way the underneath hole will not be plugged with chips. For the most part, electrical holes will only have to be placed in the first 2 or 3 logs, but a hole can be drilled the full height of the wall this way. Keyways at doors and windows also provide an opportunity to take wires to the upper levels. When the position of the fixture has been reached, make a cutout for the box to avoid the possibility of damaging the electrical wires later. Then place a fish cord in the hole to make installation quick and easy. Through-bolt holes, if required, will be smaller, so take extra care in lining them up. Most often, these will be specified at the corners only. Drift pins at intervals along the wall may also be required. These will be placed as the wall goes up. They should be staggered along the course, and rather than marking the location with a crayon, I would staple a short length of surveyor's tape to the location as a guide. Larger drift pins should be greased before they are put in place. Drill the top hole to the size of the drift and the bottom log with a smaller hole. Another operation must be ongoing if you are building on the foundation. That is, insulating or packing the logs. Use strips cut from fiberglass insulation bats and staple these into the longitudinal groove and around the notch. Use enough to fill the groove without any danger of holding the log up. Tar-soaked foam strips can also be obtained for this function. These strips can be used on both the inside and outside edge of the groove, and they greatly improve the weather seal capability. Your fully completed log work can now be positioned in its place on the wall.